Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Mint Markets. We had a pretty active session already today. Let me just mute my computer. And yeah, at the very beginning, let me remind you that all being done and said here is my personal opinion, and do not risk real money on anything I do and say here. And we will jump right into the analysis today. We had at 8:30 we had news already. So we started at in a pretty deep discount from this high, compared from this high to this low in this range, and we traded to the 50% level and even higher so far. And I was actually thinking about I entered this session with a short idea, but so far it looks like the indices are staying strong here. And it looks like so far there is no short opportunity. At the very moment. I was looking here at this breaker if we could potentially see a short here, and here at this inversion fair value gap on the 15 minute, but so far the market looks really strong, so I gotta refrain from that. So I will see how the market behaves here. We are in the full hour macro window from 9:50 to 10:10. So we'll see if we'll get anything here at the very moment. What I don't like so far, so I don't think we will have a bullish trade setup in the making, is because we have already traded above the mean threshold of this inversion fair value gap. Hi TT, good morning, good morning. Where I'm at, it's already lunchtime. And so we will see. I mean, we have taken out a lot of highs already here on the Nasdaq and in the S&P as well. 15-minute high here taken, 15-minute high here taken, highs here taken. And if we measure the range here from this high to this low, we are above premium. So I will monitor the reaction here at this inversion fair value gap and see if we potentially do get the market structure shift here. That would give me more confidence for a short idea. I will see if I get confirmation for a potential short idea, but right now What I don't like too much is that we traded above the midpoint of this inversion fair value gap. It would have been better if we would not have traded to the premium end and above, but we will see. We will see what we get. The next potential buy side here is at here at 5359.25. However, we are already in a big premium overall. We are way above the 8:30 opening price and above the midnight opening price. So we have to consider that in our trade idea, because I want to short in a premium. I don't want to go long in a big premium as we have right now. Also, if we measure with the Fibonacci again, we are almost at 70% retracement level. And yeah, we will see what if a setup forms at the very moment. I don't see a short setup. I want to have confirmation first. And I also don't really want to go long at these levels here. So we'll see what price gives us in the next minutes. All right, let's check out the chat function. I think it is working as well. At least I can see something already. I hope today my voice is not doubled. Maybe someone can confirm that that you're not hearing me doubled. So let me switch to a lower time frame here. So far we took the stops out here. We had a stop run here from the 9 a.m. stops and then rallied aggressively. So it is, price is strong so far. And also we have traded to the premium end of this inversion fair value gap shown here in the shaded area. We retraced to the discount end, and so far we are inside, ranging inside that. What I'm curious to see is if we trade through it aggressively and use that as support, or if we break down below at some point. That would be kind of confirmation I would be waiting for as well. So far NASDAQ also strong. NASDAQ basically traded to the midpoint of this gap here. So NASDAQ here fell short to the midpoint, so actually a strong sign here. Traded through on the 5-minute chart through the first fair value gap into the second inversion fair value gap here. We have a breaker here also, high, low, higher, high. So we will see if that breaker shows any influence on price, or if we disregard it and if price presses higher anyways. Nothing else on NASDAQ, really. at the moment. I'm using Nasdaq as an indication and confirmation tool to check with the S&P. And so far both are in line, which is good. Not good for the short idea, but good in general. Symmetric market is favorable. And yeah, I guess we just have to be patient at the very moment. The macro window is over. We have 10.13 already, and we still see higher prices. So that's for me an indication that we're not turning, that we won't see a turn right on the dime. And yeah, we have another fair value gap here on the 15-minute chart here. Haven't reached into that yet. But so far, gun to my head, I think we will see higher prices still in this session. Doesn't look like it wanna turn at the very moment. We might see short a decline later on, maybe in the PM session or in a lunch session. But so far, since we've also closed now at the premium end of the inversion fair value gap marked here from Wednesday yesterday, it doesn't really look like it want to show weakness. Yesterday we had a trade. Actually yesterday, to recap that was a little bit disappointing. I shorted in here for everybody who was watching and moved my stop loss, and it just traded up another time, took out almost the high again, and then fell out of bed. So was in the PM session was the main move, so was not ideal for my trade. However, we had a stop out, but still profitable, which is nice. Let me check if we're locked in. We're locked in, yes. Overall, 2,300 and plus. The partial close here, and we're ready for a potential trade setup. So if a high probability, low risk trade setup, in my opinion, forms, I will take a trade here live in front of you. So far, my preferred idea doesn't seem to be unfolding. Looks like we have relatively equal high here at the old new week opening gap, so this week's opening gap here, and we might want to revisit that. And if we really accelerate it, maybe we get an attempt to run out these highs here. Doesn't have to be, of course. what I like is a downside target, or why I also like the downside so far, is not only because we are in a premium, but if you look at the price action we had early this morning, we have relatively equal relatively equal lows here at the midnight open. We have relatively equal lows here from the Thursday morning session today, and basically a lot of liquidity was taken out already today to the upside. So in my opinion, also we have of course the liquidity of the market opening session here. So on my opinion, a couple of points of interest here for the sell side. Maybe in the afternoon session if it stays strong currently. Maybe we can actually get some scalp setups, but I would prefer to do them. I was actually aiming for the big move today. I was already excited. I thought, okay, cool. We might see a reversal here and could go for a big short trade here. At the very moment, unfortunately, that's not in the cards anymore. But let's see if we can find a scalp or anything else I can justify here. Not trying to force anything. And also, I mean, if we look at the 15-minute chart here, it doesn't really look like a low resistance liquidity run. We have a lower low here, but also here on the 5-minute we have a low and a lower low, so liquidity already taken here. But I think if it was on the 1-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart we still see a low here that is not taken out, and we have a higher low to the left, so will also be interesting for a liquidity run in my opinion. And let me also mention that if you like the live stream, the market analysis, the live streams, if you'd like me to continue, would really appreciate it if you leave the video a thumbs up, and if you are willing to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any further videos, and that would be a really good motivation for me to continue doing these streams here on a regular basis. Would be really cool, and also make it a little bit more fun if you have an audience and not just talk in front of your computer, to be honest. So far we have a run higher here. I don't think this is a turning point here. I think this might still be a continuation to the upside. If we would break this low here, I would consider that as a market structure shift. But so far, I don't see it. I don't see it. All right, so far not real trading setup. Not a trading setup I want to take, and that's okay. Sometimes you gotta know when there is no trade, better than losing money. And sometimes we just have to wait, I guess. I don't want to go long here. Too much of a premium here, in my opinion. Too much of a premium here. And as I thought, we are seeing a higher high here, so that's what I thought. We traded above this inversion fair value gap shaded here and broke the structure, and we're back in here and we're seeing support so far. So yeah, that's what I kind of expected. Um, we might see a reversal setup at some point, but first, I think now the most likely scenario is that we are seeing this new week opening, a hit of this new week opening gap here. Not so much to talk about in my opinion. Let me just change the screen and focus on the S&P a little bit more. What I want to still put on the chart is the gap here, opening range gap here from where we closed on Wednesday and opened at 9:30. So let me see where we can put that. All right. So we have now our opening gap outlined here. And we see also, I want to measure that right now because I want to see if we measure the opening range gap here, we have 50% here at 5255, 5255. So if I put that here, we can see that we have not reached the midpoint here, but we have closed above the upper quarter here. So that's also bullish indication, as we can obviously see here. And yeah, I think we will see 5330 anytime soon in this session, and we can see what if maybe another trade setup forms maybe at the end of the hour, maybe the closing macro, we can see something forming. So maybe 1150 to 1050 to 1110. Maybe we see something in this window forming. So far, this would have been a high potential long entry here, making higher highs so far. Besides that, I don't see anything. We have an old breaker here, high, low, higher, high. So we have a breaker here. We have also another fair value gap here. We can outline that as well. We have already traded into this 15-minute fair value gap initially, but we can still line it out, and it overlaps with the week opening, new week opening gap here in this case. Sometimes you gotta wait and wait for the setups. So far, I would like to see higher prices. We have green candle here from Wednesday 12:15, so I would suspect that as support to the upside. Hi Ixon, welcome back. Nice hearing from you. And yeah, so far I was initially looking for a sell setup, but we didn't get any sell setup here. That was not a real market structure shift. It was just, I was actually thinking to take the trade. I would have almost taken a trade here, market structure shift, fair value gap, sell here, but we got a quick reaction here, and it was also outside of our time window. So didn't take trade here unfortunately, and so far we have seen higher prices, and I would like to see a continuation right now. I think that's the most probable scenario. We might see a little bit of a reaction here at this old breaker here. On the 50-minute chart, we might trade higher into this fair value gap and into the old weekly opening gap. Let me actually check out the daily chart. So pretty funny so far. We have, if we measure the wick here, the 50% level of this wick here, we traded to the 50% level and had a huge reaction so far. Did good for not taking anything? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I would have kind of expected and wanted to see a sell scenario in the AM session, but didn't give it to us, and it's good for everybody who did not take a short here. And also, if we think about the scenario here, everybody who is short from yesterday is squeezed right now. Everybody who moved their stop here above this to this 50-minute high or this 50-minute high or here, they're all stopped out so far. And everybody and breakout traders at the 8:30 news, they're in long right now, they're profitable right now. And we also drew back to this old daily opening gaps and weekly opening gap here. And so far pretty strong. No signs of big retracement, no signs of a reversal at all. Another bullish, another red candle. So I would, with a fair value gap here, I would expect price to go higher from here. Not taking a trade here. Don't like the risk reward here. But we have a wick here, so we can measure the wick. We could go back into this wick as a gap here, should find support in this wick. We have a fair value gap here below, and we have a bullish down close candle here. So we should, if we have bullish continuation, we should go higher from here. And I think that's what we're going to see. And I don't want to force a trade today. I feel like right now I don't have a trade setup. The only thing, or the thing I'm waiting for, would be a clear market structure shift to the downside to take a short trade. If we enter into this new old, in this old weekly opening gap, or if we take out the highs here, which is pretty still far away. It doesn't have to take out the highs in my opinion. but I would wait for an obvious market structure shift before considering any shorts here. Let's just follow the price action for the moment. We have traded into this 3-minute fair value gap here, and so far we find support here, order block here, also 1-minute fair value gap, a 2-minute fair value gap here as well, down close candles, and we see higher prices of that so far. Probably reaching into 5330.25. Not too exciting for me. A lot of movement, but not too exciting in terms of trade setups. Nothing that really excites me. I want to go short after taking out highs. We have taken out several highs already, but we have not taken out any significant lows except here at the 945 candle here, and moved higher since. So one could have entered along here with the right buyers, I guess, but now nothing. Not a good idea to chase price here and catch along, in my opinion. And it can go another 50 handles, I don't care. I will not open myself up to unnecessary risk. And it's totally okay for me if we don't. I'm trying to find a trade every session, but if there's a session without the trade, that's also fine for me. Not ideal, not exciting, but better to preserve the capital than to just kill your performance by jumping into every trade. So let me see. Let me see. Let me check out what Nasdaq is doing. Nasdaq has equal highs here, tipped into that already, but still Nasdaq strong, very strong as well so far. No signs of weakness, no signs of retracement so far. We have a fair value gap here at 11:30 candle. So we have, I think, evened that. Here high 18,410 and a high here 18,410 as well. So yeah, we're basically in the last fair value gap here, so we could see a reaction in here as well. And we have the same fair value gap here in the S&P, not reached yet the 15-minute fair value gap. And so far it looks like a market maker buy model, but I'm not 100% convinced that we will. I'm not convinced that we will take out these highs here. It might want to do that, but so far it doesn't have to do it, in my opinion. So I'm not seeing this as a necessity to be taken out. I think we could also just go into that area and fail to make a higher to not take this out. That's also a scenario I'm considering. But we will see. We will see. Pretty sloppy week so far. A couple of opportunities still presented, a couple of trades. So not a bad week in in terms of volatility and setups, but still pretty choppy. Highs, lows, high, high, low, and not a real trending week, but yeah, I guess that's okay after we had such a drop here from drop of almost 450 handles on the maximum side, almost 8% in the S&P in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So and still the candles are large. So a lot of opportunity. It's fun to trade with this volatility if you're on the right side. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, it's actually a little bit boring, this session so far. I wish I could do a little bit more or show you a little bit more. But there's nothing really to talk about. We have 5 minutes left until uh, the macro starts from 10:50 to 11:10. So we might see some opportunity in this 20-minute window. So I'm waiting for that. And yeah, but we have still 5 minutes left. So if you have any questions or any opinions about the market, feel free to let me know in the chat as well. Happy to answer anything or happy to talk with you while we are waiting for the market to give us some setups. Just had another bearish candle formed right now. So closed into this 5-minute fair value gap. So it will be interesting to see if we find support here and go higher. And also we have touched this. Oh, we have not touched the wick yet, or I think it's the high of the wick. High here is 5.31425 and the low is 5.31425. So we have exactly touched the top of the wick here. And so far that's still strong. Let's see if we can see higher movement from this candle here now. I think we can because we still have a reasonable upside target here. And so far it looks good for the bulls. And let's see if the macro of the hour, I don't know actually what to call this macro. Gives us some opportunity. Maybe I should, I don't know if there is already a name. If not, I should probably give it some name. Full hour macro probably. I'm not a really creative guy, so probably not the best if I give something a name. Alright, so let's see if we can trade through and make a higher high above this red candle making this a support level here. And so far the reaction is nice. We are also in the fair value gap here on the Nasdaq. And we are just about to touch the fair value gap here in the S&P as well. So 2 minutes left until the macro starts. We will see. Let me check if there's anything in the economic calendar still today. I don't think so. Thursday, 8:30 news are over. We have 30-year bond auction at 1 p.m. So that's for the PM session. All right, guys. If you like, let me also remind you, if you like these kind of live streams, if you like giving me the market analysis and live trades, if I find some, would be really cool if you could give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That would be a real nice motivation for me to keep going with these live streams. All right, 1 minute left till we could potentially see some setup forming. And we have just touched the fair value gap here from 11:30, so that was predicted, and I think we will go further into this weekly opening gap here. And then we could skip to the lower time frames and see if we find any kind of market structure shift on the lower time frames. I want to see obvious displacement to the downside if I consider a short. I will definitely not take a long here, but if we touch this weekly opening gap, low, midpoint, or high, or whatever, and we see displacement to the downside, obvious displacement to the downside, and a market structure shift maybe on the lower time frame charts, I'd consider that as a potential short idea. We had already several highs forming on the 1 minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 higher highs on the 1 minute. Actually more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 higher highs. And so far we still see support here. Let me actually check how many handles that was here. 40 handles to the upside. Crazy. That is crazy. All right, so far still waiting for the setup. Let me switch the chart out. Weekly candle almost reversed. Almost back up to the weekly opening gap here. And we actually do have a level of sensitivity here. So these two up candles here, the last up close candles before the down move here. So that's our order block here, and level of sensitivity is the open here, and we can see actually that the sensitivity level here, we can actually see that if we look at the open of this candle here, let me draw a line out for you. Here we can see that we traded right to that so far. So sensitive so far. Let me see what we get off that. If we see an obvious displacement with some strength and energy to the downside, some obvious down close candles here, we might a market structure shift on the 5-minute. So far not. On the 3-minute, nothing. 2-minute, nothing. 1-minute, nothing. So let's see if we get some displacement here. Then I might try a short at some point. However, if it doesn't form in the next 10 minutes, I probably stay out and I will leave that to the PM session. So far, so we are in the macro window now. We have started the macro window, the macro time from 10:10 New York time so far. We have 10:45, 54, sorry. But we have no movement yet and no market structure shift. We have a fair value gap here on the 1-minute chart. Took out a low here, took out the high here, retraced into the fair value gap. So that is a potential bullish entry setup here, which I'm not going to take since we are so much in a premium already. but we can see and watch how price reacts there. We can see if that holds price above or not. Pretty boring session for me at the very moment, because I have no business in trading. Let's check out the dollar index real quick. DXY. So DXY rallied so far, took out highs, retraced since. So DXY not in line with the equity market so far. We had a rally in DXY and in equities. In a perfect world, that should be opposing. All right, so far we see a reaction of that fair value gap here. Approximately 5 handles here. And let's see if we get another spike up into, or if we can get a drop, a significant, with a market structure shift. At least for a scalp, I would like to see that. I don't want to take a bullish scalp here. I just want to take bearish setups here. I would take a 1 minute scalp, but only short. So we are on top of the hour, and let's see if the macro kicks in or not. Man, that's boring, I'm telling you, that's boring. That is boring. Sometimes you just sit in front of the charts and do nothing. Not the most entertaining thing, but that's how it is. All right, maybe we see some movement lower now. Let's see if we get some more movement down here, some more significant movement down here. So far we have taken out this low here, not a real significant market structure shift in my opinion. Not very convincing so far. And yeah, I think I will wait another 5 minutes and I will close it at 7 at 11:10. I will close the stream if no favorable setups, if I don't see any favorable setups. I'm staying on the 1 minute chart now. We have a range here, so 50% for a retracement would be here, below this lows here. So I think if we go lower, that would be a reasonable target here, the lows here at 5.295 approximately. But first we have to get a market structure shift, not selling into that high here. And I'm giving it another 5 minutes to show me something, and if not, I will close the stream. Will probably personally do something in the PM session, and I personally will be back with streaming tomorrow at 2:30. Tomorrow we have no news, so let's see if we get the favorable trading day tomorrow. But the volatility will definitely be there, so I will be in front of the charts at around 10 o'clock streaming again. And we will hunt for new setups then. Nothing so far. Consolidating. Oh man, that is boring. All right, guys, I think I will close it here. I'm tired of watching price consolidating here. Unfortunately, no trade setup today, but I will be back tomorrow in the PM session again, hunting for new setups. I hope you still got something out of the analysis, even though it was just not doing anything, not losing money, not winning money. I will still look for short setups, so I will for observing for you or for you for your takeaway. I will see if we, since we're such in a premium, and I think we have a lot of areas of interest into the downside. I will see if I will get a convincing market structure shift on the lower time frames between the 15 and the, I will look if I get anything on the 15, 5, 3, 2 or 1 chart. And if I do so, I will probably personally take a trade, a short trade, but let's see. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you're still here, appreciate you watching, and would highly appreciate it if you leave a like here in the video, and if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. And I see you tomorrow if you like. Have a good afternoon, guys, or a good rest of the day wherever you are in terms of location. And we will be back tomorrow. Bye bye, and thanks.